What up, my people? Coming to you live, giving you an update on the current events and what's going on in this war that we find ourselves in. The way to win the war is through information and proper perspective, an understanding of the weapons used against us so we can counter these weapons. And right now, the main weapon being used against we the people is this biological weapon. And I'm not even talking about COVID-19. That is not the biological weapon that I am referring to that is attempting to destroy we the people. The biological weapon that I'm talking about is this jab. This jab that they've been trying to mandate and make us take. We're gonna go over some stuff about the jab. And first I want to tell you that there was a whistleblower. You know, recently we had a Facebook whistleblower. Let's just think about what happened with the Facebook whistleblower. Day one, the whistleblower came out. Day two, Facebook was knocked off. It wasn't working. The next day, the lady is in front of Congress telling her story. The next day, she was invited by Facebook, the people that she was supposed to be whistleblowing against, to give them advice on what they should do. Now, when this shit happened like that, that's a fake whistleblower. Let's talk about the Pfizer whistleblower. They came out and said that they have been falsifying studies and papers and falsifying numbers and changing the data. What happened to her? She was fired from Pfizer 2 hours after sending an email to the CDC whistleblower telling. She sent the email to the CDC, and 2 hours later, Pfizer let her know that she was fired. All right? So we got to look at the contrast of these two people that were introduced to us as whistleblowers. We got to know the contrast so we could be able to recognize real whistleblowers and fake whistleblowers. We got to understand. We have to understand. That's just some perspective so we can recognize the real between the fake. And since we're talking about Pfizer, let's talk about some more stuff that I discovered and found out through reading and research that the mainstream is not going to tell you. So if you're just getting your information from that source, you're going to miss out. Well, the government is trying to mandate the jab to everyone. They're even starting to do it to little kids through propaganda, telling the kids that they will have superpowers if they take the jab. But Pfizer, who is trying to promote this jab to the world, remember, this is a world war. Pfizer, who is trying to promote this jab to the world, they don't even mandate that their employers get vaccinated. So this they saying that all companies over 150 employees, man, y'all go check and see how many employees Pfizer got. Why are they exempt, and why aren't they making the jab mandatory for their employees? Now let's think about this. In 2021, Pfizer has made $7.7 billion with a B, billion. $7.7 billion in 2021, which is over 121% increase since last year. Now, this is what's going to get you. See, I told you it's a war. 75% of that money is made outside the United States. Y'all got to understand, overstand the Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution. Matter of fact, I watched when the CDC heads were testifying in front of Congress. The CDC head was asked, what percentage of CDC employees are vaccinated? Her answer was she didn't know. Now, this lady is giving you quotes about how many people vaccinated all over the world. But when they asked her about the employees at the CDC, she didn't know how many were actually vaccinated. My mind tells me that it ain't a lot. And that's the reason why she didn't know. In this information war that we find ourselves in, it's like they're defining everything to us. Let's take Bill Gates. Let's take what we know about him, that anybody could go research, versus what we were being led to believe about him. Bill Gates is not a doctor, has no college degree, but his wealth has made him a very influential player in the world. One of the major things that Bill Gates is involved in is vaccinations. Puts a lot of money into that. Bill and Melinda Gates Fund. Another thing that Bill Gates put a lot of money in and talks about is population control. It makes me go back to Constantine. Constantine had conquered so much territory that he found it hard to control the people through edicts and stuff. You know, everybody wasn't flying with it, and people was doing whatever they wanted. And to control the people through military is very expensive. So this ingenious maniac figured that he would enslave the people mentally. Oh my God. His weapon was religion, because the biggest propagandists were the church. See, now today it's social media. 10 years ago it was television. Back then it was the church. And I think about these people that have had control over this world that we find ourselves in. But they are so few. And we are so many. And sometimes that can threaten the control. They've had their method for thinning the crop, depopulation for centuries. It was called war. War allowed for two things to happen: depopulation and consolidation of power. Because out of wars, we created things like NATO, where you have small groups over the decisions, making decisions for millions. And all of these groups, Council on Foreign Relations, NATO, they all come from war. War is scary to the people. So when a war is over and they say, we're going to create this group so we don't have to go through war, we champion it. Like, yeah, please create this group because We don't like going through war. And what these groups actually do is just consolidate power. They give the few power over the many. And the thing that the government is most scared of is a free thinking populace, critical thinking. They would prefer, like Signal Brzezinski said in his book, The Grand Chessboard, the strategy in that book was to make politics so complicated that the average man and woman would throw their hands up, you know, out of frustration over the lack of ability to overstand it, and throw their hands up and say, you know what, we're going to let the smart people do this. We just going to go to work. You know, I ain't no politician. Let's let the politicians handle the politics. I don't really understand. And that's how they want us. Because we will become disengaged. They don't want us engaged. They want us disengaged. They want us more engaged in NBA, NFL, NBL. They want us engaged in entertainment. They want us going to the theaters, going to the movies. They create all these new programs on TV. They want us tuning in every day at 7 and then another one at 8. They want our lives to be programmed. They don't want us to have time to think. We go to work and do our stuff, we don't think. We get home, turn on that box, we're not thinking. So the entire day, we are getting messages downloaded into our subconscious, but we take control over none of them. The battle is real. And I'm excited because information is coming out. You see these indictments? I talked about Durham. And I don't know, I was saying how people, they don't know Durham and they don't know people, they know LeBron. But indictments is coming out. All the people that started that Russian shit, they getting indicted. And let me go to this too. So this to help you get an understanding of this war that we in and who's waging it and who they waging against. I tuned into the G20 summit. The G20 summit was supposedly about climate change. Climate, you know how they doing. They hit us. They've been hitting us every decade since the 50s. But I listened in to the speeches, and all these leaders were saying that we had a problem with climate and CO2 emission. And in their speeches, they all seem to blame we the people in a roundabout way. People are putting out exorbitant amounts of emission CO2. The people. We have to, man, they want to tax the people. Like, if we having a CO2 and it's going to destroy the world, what the fuck is money going to do? What you going to do with the money? Who get the money that you taxing us because we driving to work? Or we took a hot shower? Or we fried some chicken? And I'm thinking deeper into this. And I'm looking at the Hegelian dialectic. And I'm stepping back, looking at it from a grand perspective. It's a world war. In wars between countries, there are problems between countries. In a world war, they have to create problems for the world. So when they present solutions, they are for the world. If the World Health Organization says we're in a pandemic, millions will die, they go to fear. But we have what we need to stop it, and that is the jab. And that jab gets introduced to the world. Man, get on your fucking computer and look at all the shit going around the world with these different jabs. It's a lot of shit happening to people with these jabs outside of this country. Well, we're not reporting on it because it'll fuck up the narrative and fuck up what they trying to get everybody to do. But the G20 summit, man, basically to me, this is what I got from it. We have a problem. The climate. The people are causing the problem. We have to do something about this problem. Yes, I am here to acknowledge that we have a problem with CO2 emissions The people are admitting the population is growing so that we are emitting too much CO2, which is going to mess with the atmosphere. We have to create something and make changes that will stop the people from destroying our planet. The people, we the people, and it's in all these countries. See, it's a we the people everywhere. So we the people everywhere, man. That's why I say stop looking at what we don't have in common and look at what we do have in common, man. We the people everywhere just want freedom. We want police. We don't want you over policing. Let us call you. We know your number. Okay? We just want to live, man. We just want a peaceful society. We ain't mad. I ain't finding mad at nobody, man. I don't believe in racism. I believe that every person is born with whatever they need to accomplish any goal that they set their mind to. As long as they don't let no information penetrate their mind that raises doubt that they have that ability. We're in a war for our minds. We're in a war for our minds. So guard your mind. Guard your mind, man. Think about this shit. I ain't telling y'all what to do. Just telling y'all to think. And I'm not telling you to think like me. I'm just telling you to think. Shit got to make sense. The most vaccinated countries are having the most problems. Well, no, let's just come back to America. Let's take Florida, Republican state. No mask mandates, no shot mandates, everything wide open. No critical race theory in the schools, none of that bullshit. And everything wide open, they ain't got no cases. Like, go take any one of these Democratic states you want to look at. Go on, y'all take some time and find a good one. Because they locked down, they teaching CRT, mask mandates, jab mandates, and they shit is off the chain, man. We thrive in freedom. We thrive in freedom. The power of the elite, the cabal, they don't thrive when we're free. And I'm going to just tell y'all something to think about. Every president that ever tried to get up under, come from up under the reserve, the Central Reserve Bank, pow, every one. Because you niggas is controlled by this paper. So if a dude control the paper and control the propaganda, you a slave by default. Just because you don't know you a slave don't mean you ain't one. Don't forget what Frederick Douglass said. He didn't even know he was a slave until he learned how to read and write. If you want to have something from a black man, had it in the book. How many books you got in your house versus TVs? We at war. And they so slick. They got a motherfucker, man, listen. The greatest trick the devil did is convince people didn't exist. The greatest trick is to be at war with you, and you don't even know that war is being waged against you. So every one of them bullets is hitting you. Every one of them. People was getting awarded money in countries, man, because of this shit. We ain't gonna get none in America. It's a vaccine. We got laws that say you can't get shit. Straight up. I'm scared for my loved ones. If I love you and you took it, man, I hope the best for everybody because of you. But just being a free-thinking man, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Somebody just sit down and go Google the deaths in America by year, the amount. And y'all tell me if we increased by 1 million in 2020, 2021. Go look at the flu cases for the last 5 years. You got 38 million, 34 million, 42 million, 36 million, and then it goes to 1,800. My free thinking man saying that, man, this shit just got miscategorized, because if we only had 1,800 cases of the flu in America, the flu has disappeared. It don't even exist. Because you got to get our population. We like 300 and some million, 370 million, not including all the illegals and undocumented. So, you know, we damn it, man. We 380 million, man. So if you telling me it was 18 cases of the flu, out of that population, the flu does not exist. But then they coming out with new tests next month in December. The CDC already told y'all don't pay attention because y'all listen to the news. The CDC told y'all we are coming up with new tests in December because our current tests don't differentiate COVID-19 and the flu. But they just tell you, come up with new tests. So we only got 1,800 flu cases in America when we just come from like 32 million. Maybe some of them cases really should have been in the flu category. So should it be looking like it looked? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man. That shit, I'm just saying, shit gotta make sense. And it's real simple. They had this shit in front of you. I'm just saying, man, we in a war, man. You know what I'm saying? Get your guns. Get your mental weapons. Sharpen them. Sharpen them. Because this was gonna save you. This was gonna save you. This was gonna save you, man. Your mind. Being able to think critically and walk around here with a proper perspective of what's really going on. So you know how to move. You know what to avoid. I ain't gonna fall for this one. It's a lot of traps out here. I ain't gonna fall for this one. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things we gotta give up, man. Everybody go pick up a book, man. Go pick up a book. Pick up a book on strategies, the art of war, 48 laws of power. You know what I'm saying? And when you get that urge to watch the news, get on your phone and watch Australian news. Just watch something else. Get some different perspective and then let your mind wait. Because we in a war, man. And we got to realize that they don't have the energy, power, or none to do what they want to do. They must monopolize our energy, man. We can move anything, man. We can accomplish anything. We don't know it, so we don't try to do it for us. They know it, so they use our energy to push whatever they push it. And all I'm telling y'all, just like Nancy motherfucking Reagan, just say no. Just say no. Just say, I will not acquiesce. Just say no, man. We at war, man. We at war. We are in a war, an information war. Information is your weapon. Because with proper information, you can walk around with a proper perception, proper perspective. You see shit for what it is and not what they telling you it is. Because if you turn off the box, turn off media, and you just live your life and look around, we ain't going through shit. We ain't going through shit. Who do you know that had to call 911? Like, man, people out here dying. It's like 4 dead bodies. Motherfuckers sick and coughing and falling over dying. Hell no, man. Nobody had to make that call. Nobody had to make that call. See what I'm saying? We at war, man. And they coming to get us. Just in a whole different way. Just in a whole different way, man. They ain't got on army, military. They got on white jackets. White jackets, scrubs, suits and ties. Yeah, degrees. Speak real proper. Sound real convincing. Man, listen. The devil don't got horns and a tail. The devil, Satan, is the great deceiver. So he looks and comes as someone that you might trust and believe. Because that's the only way he can work to deceive. If we don't listen to the lies and just rip off its disguise and see it for what it is, we could get out here free thinking and handle our biz, have whatever we want. We ain't gotta fake it to make it. All we gotta do is overstand and float beyond. It's like, man, it's like you ever been on the plane and it's rain and the plane shaking, the pilot come on and say, man, we gonna go up another 1,000 feet and get over this rain, get over these rain clouds. And when you get above that shit, you see the sun, everything just line up. You see so much more sky. See, when them clouds and shit, you think that's the limit. You gotta get above that shit, man. It don't even affect you. Smooth, life smooth, straight up. You know what I mean? So I'm just tuning in, man, because I know it's some of us that's actively overstanding that they are in this war, and a lot of us are in this war and don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Because when you find out, like, oh shit, man, I see it. What the fuck? Nah, just relax and think. Know where the misinformation coming from. Mainstream media. 90% of media is owned by 6 people. So you got to know where they shooting their weapons from. We call them the hot spots. Avoid the hot spots. They shoot mental weapons in the hot spot. You know what I mean? We got to rely on that other 10%. I'm amongst that other 10%. Got no strings. I'm just trying to tell y'all what I see. And if you see it, if I bring something like, damn, I see that. Or if you don't, that's cool. Because the whole thing is get as much perspective as possible so we can put it in order in our own minds and reach our own conclusions. But the conclusion that I have come to is that we are in a war. We are being experimented on for the sake of population control. We have been hit with a bioweapon that has been presented to us with a narrative that is not making it what it is. They have given us a narrative of how they want us to see it, but we must open our eyes and see it for what it is. And the bioweapon that they hit us for was just enough to raise the fear so that we will acquiesce, so that we will be scared enough to look to them for a solution to our fear. Just think about it. Because none of this shit they telling you sound right. This shit don't make no sense. And that's how it be when you in a war. And it really don't make no sense because we get to live our life. It ain't no explosions, but you got to realize none of the wars was in America. So all while every war was going on, we was living our life. You know what I'm saying? And it's a whole different war, man. It's a war. They don't want us to go nowhere. They just want to eliminate something slowly. Make the rest of us dependent on Big Pharma, so Big Pharma could make them billions. Yeah. And the target ain't black people or white people or brown people or yellow people. It's we the people. Jump outside your box that they got you in. And man, look at, we all in this same shit together. Don't think that he in a different war. No, we all that war, but if we separated, we weak as fuck. If everybody that wars get waged on just come together, they can't win because we could all together say no and just stop. And they shit just crumble. Just think about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep your head up, man. We at war.